welcome to a new episode of the Football Show. As today we're going to talk about yesterday's Premier League games and also the preview between Arsenal and Liverpool today. Also going to talk about the Spanish Super Cup games, and also if I have enough time I could also talk about the games from Serie A yesterday as well. So let's get started. Let's start with Crystal Palace against yesterday's Premier League games. Crystal Palace against Aston Villa ended in 0-0 draw. Fulham against Chelsea ended in 2-1 win for Fulham. Again, I mean, they put a decent performance against City during the weekend when they put a good draw. But back to square one to this one, and again, no consistency. And that point against Man City means now nothing for Chelsea if you don't win the next game, especially. They went down to 10 men again. Lack of discipline again. Cucurella being sent off stupidly from him. And then in the second half, Fulham scored before half time, by the way, but it was the Salah VAR. But second half, they got better and better. They scored the first goal from Jimenez. The lap then equalised for Chelsea, but then 9 minutes later, Wilson scores. Good goal, 2-1, and Fulham kind of took the gas off. They thought we don't need to score any more goals against this team, So when Fulham doesn't take you that seriously and says, "Oh, we scored the second goal, that's it. We don't need to do any more to win the game," then it tells you everything where Chelsea are right now. But yeah, Levy or Senior, he was watching his hands and he has a big job in his hands because, looking at these players and the squad, these players, and it's not good at all. So. Yeah, but Chelsea again, poor run of form continues. Brentford against Sunderland. Brentford beat Sunderland 3-0. 2 goals from Igor Thiago, who's been an amazing run of form for Brentford this season, and I think he's the second top scorer in the Premier League by Erling Haaland with 16 goals. He's been having a phenomenal season. He's not been getting a lot of credit. I don't know why, but he's been absolutely fantastic, and he's a quality player. Especially Brentford that are used to having good strikers in the past, like Ivan Toney. So for them to replace and to have a striker like Igor Thiago, who's having a brilliant season, and who's probably the main reason why, or one of the big reasons why Brentford are having the success they're having this season, is because of him. So yeah, and by the way, Brentford are 5th in the Premier League as well, only 1 point behind 4th Liverpool. I mean, remember a couple of months ago, people saying, Brentford, they're going to struggle because of Thomas Frank leaving, and they bring in a set piece coach. They're going to go down. I actually also thought they would be fighting in relegation, but how proven all of us wrong is incredible. So well done to them having a brilliant season. Bournemouth beat Tottenham 3-2. Antoine Semenyo with in the last kick of the game, scoring the winner for Bournemouth. Tottenham were leading and then it was 1-1. Bournemouth took the lead after, and then Joao Paulinho equalised, but in the last kick of the game, Antoine Semenyo scores the winner, which is probably going to be his last game for Bournemouth before he makes that move to Manchester City. So but a very good win for Bournemouth considering they had a poor run of form in the last couple of months. So good way to end their winless streak. And also before the game, Thomas Frank, the manager of Tottenham, was seen when he was drinking a bit of a coffee. It had an Arsenal logo on it. I know Thomas Frank is an Arsenal fan, but you don't have to take it to that far. By the way, I mean, why did it's at Bournemouth? Tottenham are playing Bournemouth away. I don't know why made that cup it's an Arsenal cup. I have no idea. Maybe it's because Arsenal played in the last game. I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. But anyway, Manchester City drew 1-1 with Bournemouth. More drop points again for Pep Guardiola's side. I mean, like, it's getting more difficult for them right now, and they took the lead in the first half thanks to a penalty from Erling Haaland, which it came from a penalty where I'm not really sure it's a penalty. Yeah, the guy trips him, but I'm not really sure. So it's kind of, I'm not really sure, but if you want to give the benefit of the doubt on the contact, etc., yeah, you want to say it's a penalty, but I'm not really sure. But City got the penalty and they scored from it. And then, yeah, like after that, Brighton, they responded quite well in the second half. Despite they were 1-0 down, they responded quite well. They were creating some chances. They scored a very good goal from Mitoma. So they were playing quite good football actually. It's not like they were scared of City and they were defending. They actually went for it. They actually gone for it, and they were challenging City, and they were causing City problems. And City, despite that, despite Brighton scored, City kept creating chances after chances. Czech had a couple of chances as well, and but they didn't put them away. And they lacked that killer instinct in front of goal, which is very strange, very, very, very strange to say that about Manchester City when they have so many great attacking players and who could score goals like Erling Haaland, etc. And you say that they lack a killer instinct, but that was the case. They lacked a killer instinct in this game. Phil Foden had a difficult performance. Nico Gonzalez didn't have a good performance as well. I thought Roger came in, he did very, very well. But again, it wasn't enough, and City had a lot of chances, most of the possession as well, but they didn't put them away. And Brighton, they had chance. Brighton could have won it as well, because they had some few chances. But I think City in general had more chances. But yeah, like I think Brighton deserved the draw. I think they deserved the draw for where they played, particularly second half, how they. Came out after the second half. Came out at the start of the second half. So, yeah. And yeah, it's for City now. The 5 points by Arsenal, and if Arsenal win their game against Liverpool today, they go 8 points clear of Manchester City and Aston Villa. Is the title race over? No, I wouldn't say it's over, but you can clearly see this City team. Even though they had before the three consecutive draws they had, they even they won like 8-9 games in a row. But some of those games were let's say fluky wins. Let's say Leeds United they conceded 2 goals. They blew away 2-goal lead, I think. Against Fulham they conceded 4 goals. Against Crystal Palace they won 3-0, but they didn't have control in that game. Nottingham Forest, they were not at their best in that game as well. So, even they were winning a lot of games, it's not like they were at their scintillating best. Those 3 draws they had, it showed. Sunderland, I understand, but Chelsea, like, you should beat them, and this game you have to win. You have to bounce back. And they couldn't. And defensively, they were struggling again. I know they have some injuries, as I mentioned before the game, Diaz, Gvardiol, etc. But it was a game where a good chance that you can bounce back. So, and they didn't do that. This City team is a good City side, but it's not the peak City side. It's not the best City side. It's not the Centurion side. It's not the side that won 4 domestic trophies in 2019. It's not the City side that won the treble in 2023. So, and as much as they've improved from last season statistically and in terms of goals, etc., it's still this City team reminds me of Liverpool's team under Jurgen Klopp when it was his final season, 2023-2024, where Liverpool the season before that, 22-23, they had a terrible season, and then Liverpool and Klopp had to rebuild, and they brought in players like Szoboszlai, McAllister, Gravenberch, etc., and they rebuilt the team, and that was a team. It was a good team, but it was not good as the team that as the team that won the Champions League, won the Premier League, competed for 4 trophies. In that season, they were fighting for the Premier League, and they were, I think there was even a discussion they could even win 4 trophies, but then they collapsed towards the end of the season. So this City team reminds me of that team, where it's a good team, but it's still also in the rebuilding process. It's still a rebuilding process, and it's not there yet. They're not there yet. That team was not there yet. This team is also not there yet. It's not there yet as well. So, this side is a good team. They have good players like Reinders, Foden, Haaland, but it's not there yet. It's not the best City side that you would that City fans would have an image of, like the previous best teams they experienced. So yeah. Let's move on to Everton against Wolves. Everton drew on with Wolves. Everton, if I'm not mistaken, they had 2 players sent off, Michael Keane and also Jack Grealish, because Jack Grealish was apparently clapping at the referee for some decisions. He was clearly not happy, but he was sarcastically clapping, and the referee didn't take it well. So the referee must have been emotional. I mean, this sums up the Premier League referees, honestly, weak. That they even sent off players for clapping. Anyway, Burnley against Manchester United ended a 2-2 draw. Darren Fletcher was in charge for this game for Manchester United. They went 1-0 down in the first half, but in the second half they responded 2 goals from Benjamin Šeško. But then 6 minutes later they conceded again. I mean, Burnley had only 1 shot on target in this game, and yet they scored 2 goals and they drew. I mean, and United dominated. I didn't watch the games. I was watching Newcastle against Leeds actually, so I didn't watch this game. But United clearly still they look good if you look in terms of statistics. But again, you have to beat Burnley, who were struggling, and they didn't do that. Newcastle United against Leeds United. What a game! What a game! That was an amazing game. Both teams attacking, both teams, scoring, and it was an end-to-end. It was like entertaining match. Like it was entertainers. Like Newcastle had that team in '96. Brilliant to watch. Both teams attacking, going for it. Amazing. It was brilliant. Leeds United go with the lead, but then 4 minutes later, Barnes 1-1, and then the second half, Newcastle took the lead 2-1. It was 1-1, but Leeds United before half-time took the lead 2-1 with a penalty from Calvert-Lewin. But the second half, Newcastle responded and they came back 2-2 from Joe Linton. But Leeds United take the lead again from Brendan Aronson, and 3-2. Leeds United, okay, Leeds could go on and win the game here, even though since James Park anything can happen. And it did happen, because they equalised 90th minute from Bruno Guimaraes with the penalty, 3-3. And then in the dying minutes, 90 plus 12 minutes, Harvey Barnes. Oh, it's an equaliser. No, this time it's the winner. As he scored the winner for for Newcastle United, and it was a brilliant game. Brilliant game. And huge win for Newcastle. Newcastle, by the way, that's 3 wins in a row for them, and right now they're not far away from the top 4. They are 2 points behind. So huge win for Newcastle, and that comeback they showed, that could be an important moment for them towards the end of the season if they want to qualify for the Champions League next season. So great comeback from Newcastle United, and they win 4-3, and they are now 2 points behind Liverpool, despite all the inconsistencies that Newcastle have. But however, they slightly turned it around the last couple of games. They won 3 games in a row, so yeah, big win for Newcastle. Now,